Pohaku, again from the sacred shores of Honokahua at Kapalua. We look to the source, virtually 2021 Celebration of the Arts. Today we feature Kalai Pohaku, the art of carving the stone, a very respected, mystical part of Hawaii. We are extremely grateful to have from Haiku, Maui, Kalai Pohaku, Mr. Hoaka Delos Reyes. Aloha.
Aloha.
Welcome again back to this place. Your toolbox is something that's extremely unique, is that you carried a past of Hawaii with you. Real short, my grandmother collected Pohaku. Pohaku is what we refer to as rock or stone here in Hawaii. And she would always tell me, in Pohaku, there is life. In Pohaku, there may also be the other side of life, you know, from weapons to things that provide for food. And you've come a long way in what you do, so tell us about it.
In all of Polynesia, the stone is really important because without stone, you don't have your foundation. So without the stone, how can you have your stone tools to cut down your trees to build your hale, your houses? Your stone tools or your adzes to chop down the trees to build your canoes, your va'a. It has many functions.
You have a piece here that you're working on. You're not using, from what I can tell, modern implements to create this piece.
No modern tools.
Okay, so to create that piece, which tool would you use to carve into?
This tool here, which is on the name of this, the inoa for this stone here is called ala. It's very dense, it's in a high elevation, and for that is because it cools off faster and there's no air pockets. The name of this implement is, in Hawaiian, the inoa is called pa'o, P-A-O, meaning stone chisel. And to use it, the word is to peko.
So just the impact of that creates the shape that you want to create. That
Yes.
thing stays in its form, even though you're striking rock.
Yes.
This changes because of that.
Yes.
And that, of course, is more porous.
This is porous.
And this piece that you're creating is called?
Pohaku ku'iai, a poi pounder.
Which I believe will eventually resemble something as this,
Yes.
correct?
We refer to it as an implement that gives life in order to make our poi, our pound our kalo.
It's our sustenance.
It's our sustenance.
Yeah, and of course. And these other tools here that you have, are they used in the formation of this piece as well, or other pieces?
There's here, this is, and this one here, they're called apu-apu, grinding stones. And the apu-apu, when you apply it like this, after you chip it or you peko, you ho'ana. Ho'ana is to grind, to smooth.
Wow.
So this application is the same as when you dig out your canoe or your va'a. This is for the inside and the outside of the va'a. You see how the shape?
Mm-hmm.
So, to smooth the la'au.
Okay. And you know, there's different densities in the rock, so that determines what type of tool you could use.
Yes.
What's it used for?
The different densities determines the finish. So if you have a coarse one like this, the name of this is popa'a, but it's coarse, and it will cut more granules out of the pohaku. Then when
Like a different bit, like a different size of sandpaper.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
And then when you come down to a finished one, this is called o'io. It's very tight grain and it's smooth. It's gonna give you a finish like this.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
So knowing your different grades of stone or your compositions, you can get that effect to where you can even polish it.
Mm-hmm. So in today's world, most people can go to aisle 36, has a sign, what tool you need, etc. In your case, where do you find your implements?
My implements, I go to the shoreline where there's river mouths. I go to the mauna and walk from the top to the bottom to locate these different types of stones for the work.
And I ask this of every artisan. What got you into what you're doing now? Or who got you into what you're doing now?
This was a challenge from my son. He came home from Punanaleo emergency school, and he asked if I could make a poi pounder. And I said, yeah. And he said, but. And I said, what do you mean, but? He said, no power tools.
Okay.
I had to make a compromise. So at that time, I asked them, okay, can I use a hammer? And he said, okay. So I was fortunate to meet a man on Oahu. His name is Keoke Mahiai Ka'ele Makuli. He took me under his wing, and he had the knowledge. He had the huna of stone on stone.
Nice. And you spoke about a hammer. Now, if you don't use a hammer, is there a certain implement you use that would be your hammer stone? That something would...
So in Hawaiian, this is the hammer stone. It's called Pohaku Kapili. And to make your ko'is, your adzes, your ulumaikas, even here, you can apply it. When you have high spots and you want to take it down,
See, I can already see a difference of where you impacted the stone. For me, I probably have 5 bruises and 2 broken knuckles by now doing something like that. But I can already see the impact zone of what you do. And then, as I said, every stone has its own personality. And I see you have a varied amount of style. And these are all from here in Hawaii.
all from
And you
Hawaii.
can see just how different they are. And then you have these things here. Where are they found?
In the high elevation.
High elevations. High
On the
elevations.
mauna.
And what would they use something like this? Because it looks brittle almost.
In the English term, they call this obsidian. You flake it, and this was used like a knife or a scalpel.
I see.
If you're hunting and you wanted to open a carcass, they would flake this off, and it'd be razor sharp into cutting into the flesh.
Wow. So we spoke about how you bring things to life, gods, goddesses, just different images, and you brought a small piece of your art with us today. Would you like to explain to us what it means? What is the name of this piece?
This piece here is Hanau Pohaku o Pele. Pele who gives birth to stone when she erupts. And that's how we have our stones, because when she erupts, there's a lava flow. But different kinds of stone that come out of the volcano, that you have all this different material to use. Hanau Pohaku.
And as I said, this is a minuscule piece of art compared to what you have created. He has created something called Moolelo, which is a very meaningful piece of art that we have here at Honokāua for the intentions of paying respect to our iwi kupuna and to the Lena up at Makalua Puna Point. Now, very Hawaiian features, artwork is intricate, just congratulations on these things, and I'm hoping that you have somebody in mind that's following your footsteps.
As a Hawaiian or a Kanaka Maoli, I'm proud to say that I'm able to do the work and able to give back, to share and to teach that those who are willing to put in the time and see the fruits of their labor. It's not you who shaped the stone, it's the stone who shapes you.
Yes. And with that being said, this came way before us. It'll remain here way after us. But as you say, the Moolelo, the story remains, the vision remains, your legacy goes on, and it is my hope, everybody's hope, that someone will take this art and this practice into consideration and carry it forward.
Yes, I look forward to that.
Nang. So, on behalf of everybody here on the World Wide Web and those of you from Hawaii, Again, we thank you for tuning in and getting to know the person, getting to know the practice, getting to know the passion behind creating these things. These are not in souvenir shops. These come from the mind's eye, from the heart, from the gut. They bring it forward, and it brings our stories, our legends, and our deities alive. So on behalf of all of us here at the Ritz-Carlton Kapalua and the Celebration of the Arts, for all your kupuna, for all of the kupuna for Kavaka Hiko, again, thank you for sharing your art. Ladies and gentlemen, a great example of patience, of the mind, the heart, the gut, all working together to create legacy. Celebration of the Arts, 2022, even more things to come. We love you. Aloha. We'll see you soon. Thank you, sir.